Welcome to Connection Ministries blog, Illuminate, a communication tool for sharing valuable information with friendship groups. We have all missed our friendship groups. Staying connected through our weekly meetings, through the summer friendship gatherings, and our personal contact just means so much to us. But it's sad. COVID-19 has dramatically changed the ministry that we have together. In the midst of this virus, we find encouragement. When we hear about your creative efforts, it is vital that we stay connected as a Christian community. I wish I had a nickel for every time I'm asked if we could start meeting again this fall. We all want our friendship groups to start up, but is this the best decision for your group? Please know that Connection Ministries will not pressure you to restart nor tell you to wait. We will instead ask some questions that you can research, provide guidelines to help your friendship group make the best decisions for everyone in your group. This video will share information provided by the Christian Law Association in an article titled COVID-19 Suggested Church Reopening Guidelines. We also gathered information from several churches who are wrestling with the same concerns. Along with the article, we provided a note sheet on our website next to this video. Since your friendship group is a ministry of your church, first find out if your church will allow the friendship group to start meeting again. There may be restrictions in your local community that prevent groups from meeting. Some questions to ask church leadership could be, what is your church's policy on groups meeting in the church? What are the procedures for those meetings? If your friendship group is permitted to meet, local restrictions and your church's policy are the starting place for your group. Some of the guidelines offered in this video may complement your church's procedures. You will need a detailed safety procedure to help friends with disabilities, their families, the service providers, and your volunteers to feel safe returning to the friendship group. You may want to review the roster of everyone who attends your friendship group and determine if everyone should attend. The mentioned article encourages high-risk individuals and caregivers of high-risk individuals to stay home or practice social distancing guidelines. The people at highest risk for illness from COVID-19 are people 65 years old and older, those living in a nursing home or long-term care facility, and anyone, regardless of age, with underlying medical conditions such as asthma, heart condition, severe obesity, diabetes, and lung disease. The people who will participate in the friendship group also need to ask themselves if they will have contact with other people in this high-risk group. Participants will need to evaluate if they work or socialize with people who do not practice social distancing guidelines. It would be helpful to develop a questionnaire for the families of our friends with disabilities, their service providers, and friendship volunteers to identify the following. Who in the group is considered high risk? Who comes in regular contact with high-risk people, such as through work? Those in the group who are associated with people who don't practice social distancing guidelines. The questionnaire can also ask friendship group participants if they're able to participate in person or join virtually through Zoom. It will be important to find ways to include participants who are not able to participate in person or virtually. Just a few ideas are drive-by visits, letters, phone calls. We will talk more about those and other ideas in a future article. The use of Zoom may require churches to provide both equipment and technical assistance. It is also recommended that you find out if the space previously used for your friendship group is still suitable. A space that was satisfactory pre-COVID-19 may not meet the social distancing requirements needed today. If there is a suitable space that's approved, plan to allow for 6 feet between individuals or household groups. We heard from one friendship leader that an arrangement was being made for an off-site gymnasium to allow for proper social distancing. In auditorium-style worship and lesson spaces, close off or remove seats for every other row. Ask individuals or household groups sitting together to leave seats open between them to maintain the minimum of 6-foot distance from others. People living in the same household, they can sit together. While sitting at tables, space the chairs to maintain that same social distancing. Your group should also develop an arrival and departure procedure that continues to maintain that social distancing when entering and leaving the facility. Be sure to disinfect all high-contact surfaces before and after each meeting. This includes, but is not limited to, name tags, tables, chairs, doorknobs, light switches, countertops, handles, bathroom toilets, faucets, and sinks. The use of bathrooms is another large concern. The bathrooms that will be used need to be sanitized before each friendship group meeting. Encourage family members and direct support staff to have everyone use the bathroom before they arrive at the church to limit bathroom usage during the meeting. Even with these guidelines in place, there will still be individuals who will need to use the restroom. Anyone using the facilities or assisting friends with disabilities need to maintain social distancing and sanitize the surfaces that were touched before leaving the bathroom. Be sure sanitizing wipes are readily available in the bathrooms and other meeting areas. Family members and direct support staff should assist the individuals who are in their care. Make sure that those who use the bathroom properly wash their hands before leaving. Place hand sanitizers in high-contact locations like the entries and the exits, and ask volunteers and friends to sanitize or wash their hands upon entering the building. Remember, soap and water is perfectly fine as a sanitizing agent. Display signage telling friends with disabilities, family members, direct support staff, and volunteers not to enter the building if they are symptomatic or if they have tested positive for COVID-19. Our friendship groups have always been welcoming places, and many want to give hugs. But sadly, we need to replace those hugs and handshakes with no-contact greetings. For now, avoid handshakes, high fives, hugging, and any greeting that involves physical touch. A smile goes a long way. Anyone who participates in a friendship group should not attend when they're not feeling well or have exhibited symptoms associated with COVID-19 in the last 14 days. If a friendship group is meeting in person, all participants and visitors need to wear a face mask and also optional gloves. This needs to be communicated ahead of time to the families and direct support staff before the friendship group starts up. For every meeting, volunteers should be stationed at all available entrances to check the temperature of every incoming volunteer, adult friend, family member, and direct support staff using a no-contact method. These volunteers must always wear protective face coverings and gloves. There are low-cost, no-contact infrared thermometers priced around $30. At each temperature station, there should be a table with hand sanitizer and disposable masks. Volunteers will remind everyone to use that hand sanitizer and wear their mask. Volunteers taking temperature should also ask everyone attending if they've exhibited any symptoms or have been in contact with another person who exhibited symptoms associated with COVID-19 in the last 14 days. These symptoms include fever, cough, shortness of breath, chills, repeated shaking, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, or new loss of taste or smell, or other neurological issues. Any person who is not willing or able to follow these attendance requirements, has a temperature elevated above 100 degrees, has had any symptoms associated with COVID-19 in the last 14 days, or has been in contact with someone who exhibited these symptoms in the last 14 days should receive a respectful explanation why they cannot stay and politely ask to leave. Prepare Bible lessons to avoid handout materials. Visual aids are still important, so use projection screens or large posters. If you have not used technology in the past, this might be the best reason to start. For now, we do not recommend the use of songbooks, bulletins, hymnals, or musical instruments. Avoid the use of craft projects that use shared supplies, including but not limited to glue, crayons, pencils, scissors. Craft projects should be prepackaged kits that do not require additional supplies. I've always been an advocate for snacks during fellowship time. I especially enjoy attending special events when food is served. This is another area where we need to be cautious. You should only serve snacks at friendship group if you can ensure proper social distancing. It is recommended that you use prepackaged snacks and individualized drinks. If the friendship group includes communion as part of their meetings, it is recommended that you use prepackaged communion kits with individualized cups and wafers. However, this may not be feasible if members in your group are unable to open their communion kit unassisted. Now, as you listen to these guidelines, you might feel a bit overwhelmed and think it is impossible to start meeting this fall. While weather is still good, outdoor events could be scheduled periodically or even on a weekly schedule. Some friendship groups have hosted parking lot worship services and have even used city parks. Be aware that social distancing can be harder to enforce in an outdoor setting, so plan your event to keep attendees from clustering. Perhaps participants in your group are not ready to meet in person. If this is the case, you might consider meeting virtually on Zoom. This is not a perfect solution, but it is working for some groups. In another video, we'll offer some ideas and training on the use of Zoom. Technology can help, but I do want to emphasize the importance of good old-fashioned kindness. I love to receive a card or a letter, or somebody thought enough about me to write a personal note. Make their day. Write a letter. Make a phone call. Visit their home with a card and some prepackaged snacks. Your kindness will illuminate God's love in your friends' hearts. I want to thank you for your commitment to Jesus and to your friendship groups. It is our hope that this video will help in planning the next steps for your group. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at connect@connection-ministries.org or call 317-646-5067.